Where last we left our heroes, Danir the Tabaxi Wizard, Nara the Drow Sorceress, Asmo the Sneckman Fighter, and Wolfgang the Angelic Warlock were partaking of studies in the Arcanos Academy for the Arcane deep in the Feywild in the city of Lon Othrond. Through their studies, Asmo learned to use his magical items more efficiently and was beaten up by a number of... Well, I say beaten up, but he managed to stop the flow of the training dummies that were sent at him wave after wave. Wolfgang was confronted face to face by his deity, being given the revelation that the god of life himself was the one who created the bleeding god and is therefore partially responsible, if not entirely responsible, for the fate that the world finds itself sitting at the precipice of. Nara, meanwhile, wanting to be a better animal handler, took to studying small creatures and trying to figure out exactly how animals are, handled, to varying results that she seemed to be getting the better hand of. Danir and Wolfgang were also led into a mysterious chamber where, separated by a glass wall and a bubble, through the bubble, each could see the guise of one figure. Wolfgang was brought face to face with Fezziwig Grinspire, the Jester of Bordeaux, and Danir was brought face to face with the bleeding god Fractal known only as Red. Through a discussion, Danir was led to a number of revelations regarding his relationships to the gems and that of Ramses Palto, and Wolfgang was left to sympathize with the plight of Fezziwig Grinspire, who with tears in his eyes pleaded with Wolfgang for his assistance, his blood, and scared for the future, left with the plea of, "I don't know what he's planning, but it's too late to stop it." The expression seems to freeze on his face. Not only does the expression seem to freeze on his face, but his entire body seems to stop moving. He seems to stop breathing entirely, just trapped in that moment of pain, staring into your eyes, Wolfgang. Wolfgang?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just thinking.
Danir on
So
your...
he's.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask. So he's just ceased moving entirely.
It would seem that way. You can make a perception check.
Open my character sheet. I'm going over here. Gonna roll a perception check. Gonna roll a 9.
Seems to you as if all of his muscles have stopped moving. You're kind of taken aback by this. You're not sure if this is some sort of trick. Danir, on your side, Red has just kind of frozen with a cruel-looking smile on his face as he believes you have come to some sort of realization.
Danir just stares at him for a few long moments.
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Okay. That's 13.
As you shift, his eyes seem not to follow you. His muscles don't twitch. You don't know if a creature like this needs to breathe, but he doesn't seem to be. Almost as if he's just kind of hanging there, floating in aspic.
Can I roll an Arcana check to determine if time magic is being involved? Like he's frozen in time.
Go for it.
28.
Ooh. My.
As you approach the bubble, you glance around, kind of move your head. His eyes don't track you or follow you. As best you can tell, he is frozen in time.
Cast sending to Wolfgang. Hey, Red's frozen in time, looks like over here. Fezziwig doing the same thing?
Pretty much. He said something to the effect. Don't know what he's planning, but it's already too late to stop.
Another sending message. I got the jester to talk. I learned a fair few things, all concerning. Brief you more when we leave.
Perplexing, isn't it? A older voice comes from behind both of you.
Turns and looks.
Perk up. Yep.
Standing behind you is Denier. It's a familiar face. Wolfgang, to you it's sort of familiar, but you might need to make a probably a straight intelligence roll or a history check.
I'll go for... Oh, well, they're the same. I'll just roll history. 7.
You've seen this face before, but you're not sure why or where. As my phone decides to start yelling at me for... Oh, good, robocall, too. That's great. As this old wizened elf stands behind you with a kind look on his face, very understanding a look, kind of a knowing look. There we go.
Wizened elf.
Denier, you know this. You've seen this face most recently at the top of a golden statue as you entered this land, but before that, inside the crystal at the bottom of the lake.
Denier almost instinctively smiles, and a look on his face akin to one that you would have when greeting an old friend. He's...
He returns your smile warmly.
He's a strange one. I get answers, but those answers only lead to more questions.
It seems to be my experience as well. Wolfgang, he says this exact same thing on your side. Oh, sorry, this must be confusing.
Little bit. Can I help you?
He gestures behind him to these kind of a very luxurious-looking redwood door lined with ornate black metal, kind of in almost a lattice pattern over the door. Please, this way. He steps back through the door. Denier, he's making the same gesticulations and saying the same words to you as well.
He follows, but as he passes, he glances over. Your other pieces send their regards. He gives a little bit of a smile and he keeps on going.
He gonna be all... Is he gonna be all right? I assume you did that to him.
A momentary necessity. He will. We should discuss this further inside.
Denier's already gone through the door.
Yep. As you walk through the door, you realize that the door you walk through is one of a set of double doors. The other door, as you look back through it, Wolfgang, as you look through, you can see Denier has walked through, not the door that you walked through, but one that appeared to be right next to it.
I'll just briefly, I'll open my monster manual and I'll flip to a blank page and I'll tear it out. I'm going to write on the paper, live the way they would have wanted you to. For them. For you. And then I'll leave it at Fezziwig's frozen form, and then I'll walk through the doors.
The old elf gives you a smile at your gesture. As you walk through, you stand side by side with Denier as the door closes behind you, or as the elf walks out and closes the double doors behind you. It's strange. You see two of them at first, but as he approaches the door, the two forms meld into one, and he closes both doors behind him. You find yourself standing in a very large palatial greeting room, kind of cylindrical in design. As you look up, there are vines growing along the walls, potted plants, kind of streaming down from these little plant potters that are going up this very large spiral staircase that seems to lead up to a very distant crystal. Like it's emanating this light from far up this tower. Now, I'm sure there's much on your mind and much to discuss. Let's do so over tea, shall we? Nara.
Yes.
As you finish practicing catching and both baiting, luring, and handling more of these little creatures that have been wandering around this little garden that you've been training in, another door appears as you turn around, letting go of the latest animal that happened to wander into your grasp. It is a large shadowy arc, kind of billowing with this dark umbral energy. It doesn't seem to be a door, so to speak, as it looks to be a portal.
Well, I guess it was bound to happen sometime.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
28.
The oddest thing about this is, as you look at the void within the door itself, distantly within that portal, you see these two sort of luminous, turmeric, feline eyes staring back at you. As you glance inward, a plume of fire shoots up not too far off to your left. And standing in the room now, or standing in the garden once again with you, is Fithrobar.
Hey again.
Did you create that?
What? No. I thought you made that. Or the school made that.
I have not seen anything like this.
You have. This is your magic school thing, so it makes doors. You told me that.
It does make doors, but I have not seen this one.
Okay. But you know who those people are, right?
She points at the The eyes staring.
I don't know what you're... Who?
The eyes. The like yellowy, glowy eyes in the void in there.
She like walks over and gestures at the void.
How close do
Where-
you get?
The eyes. Within 10 feet.
Okay. You can feel this, it's a familiar sort of chill emanating from the doorway. Less emanating from, more like it is pulling in. But it's this tingling chill that you have felt, a number of times previously.
Something about this is. You're absolutely positive this isn't a school thing.
I cannot say for certain if the school has any sway on this, but
He points down at your feet.
Look down.
Your shadow seems to stretch from, your feet to the door.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. In your professional opinion, entering the void, good idea, bad idea?
I cannot say for certain. All I know is this is a curiosity I have not encountered.
What do your magic eyes see? Anything extra magic-y about this one?
You call it a void, I simply see a shimmering wall.
What? You don't see the arch, like the arc,
I
You don't see that?
a wall of moving air, shimmering, almost mirrored.
Huh.
I
Okay,
can see that you are attached to it.
like it's part of me?
Perhaps. Which is why I asked if you were the one who created it.
Wait, is that Whisper?
And she'll look back into the void.
The eyes kind of knowingly widen and then retake their more casual shape.
He looks back over her shoulder and smiles at him.
That's my cat.
Your cat.
Yes, Whisper. Whisper lives in my shadow, and my shadow is going there, and the eyes that I'm seeing are Whisper's eyes. I'm pretty sure I need to go talk to them. I don't think they would have made a door if they didn't want to say hi.
If it is something you can trust, then by all
I mean,
means
it's-
follow your instinct.
Literally part of me.
He holds out his hand and a book appears in his hands as he pulls another fiery quill from the air.
If you do not mind, I would like to take notes.
Just in case I'm terribly wrong and end up on a different plane of existence, is there any way to kind of bring me back?
A very good question.
Hopefully, he points at the mark of Arcanos at the kind of sitting near your upper left breast of your cloak.
That will be a good way of keeping track.
Okay. I mean, I'm not getting any red flags here, so I'm just gonna go have a quick chat. If I'm not back in, a couple hours, send out the search party.
He smiles.
All right. Well, thanks for the animals lesson. They're kind of cute. They're close.
A few of the bluebirds have actually kind of settled down on his shoulders.
I'm gonna go talk to Whisper now, so I'll catch you later.
She gives him little finger guns.
He sits on bated breath as you approach the portal.
So she gets about she walks closer and sticks her hand up as if she was gonna pet the void, thinking of it as Whisper.
As you touch the portal, you feel this cold numbness kind of creep over your finger as the portal itself seems to leak down your hand like a viscous moving ink. The chill you begin to feel starts to numb, it starts with like that numbing sensation. And you start to remember what that chill is as this creeping void ink crawls up your forearm, up your shoulder, starts to envelop you very, very quickly. This is a feeling that you felt every time your soul got ripped away from your body. But by the time you realize that, it creeps over your face, and all around you is darkness.
Oh, shit.
She'll try and, before it completely envelops her, she'll look back with her eyes wide like this is not a good thing at Fifth Rabar.
Give me a wisdom save.
17?
As it crawls over you very quickly, you look over to him, your eyes widen. The last thing you see on his face is this look of puzzlement before darkness.
Oh, boy. Where am I? Hello? Hello?
Nothing seems to answer as you feel the winds kind of swirl around you. You find yourself in a very familiar sort of void. One between the realm of death and the realm of the living.
Whisper? Are you here? Whisper.
As your eyes adjust to the darkness of the void, something that your eyes can get used to, yours specifically, you start to see that you find yourself in a dark cave of sorts, stone beneath your feet, which, you do find yourself solid-footed here, not floating.
Okay.
Bits of stream run between some of these semi-separated rocks, enough where if you're not careful, you might get your foot caught in between some of these shales, but you wouldn't exactly call what's running beneath you a river by any stretch of the imagination. But you do start to hear the trickling.
Which way is the water running?
As you listen closely, go ahead and give me a perception check.
It would be on high fucking alert. 26.
You can hear the water trickling. You can feel the flow of the air. It seems to be going the direction that you're facing.
Okay. Follow the water and it'll probably go out somewhere. So I'll just follow this for now.
You start following the stones, the sounds of the water. You think you hear a second set of footsteps as they start to echo around you.
2 feet?
Hard to say. I'll let that previous perception check run, but it's almost imperceptible from your own footsteps echoing off the stone walls. But there's definitely a second set of, well, at least one more set of feet.
Hello? I can hear you. Or we can just walk in silence, I guess.
As you glance around, I want you to make me an additional perception check. This one with advantage.
Natural 20, 30.
As you glance around, looking, like knowingly looking for another being somewhere in here, you see a humanoid shape with those same turmeric umbral eyes peering at you from around a corner. They try to hide back as you
Shadow?
glance at
Or
them.
Whisper? You're my shadow. Why are you in that form?
Do you pursue it?
Yeah.
You travel back a ways, trying to follow that corner that they ran around. In doing so, go ahead and make me a dexterity check, because it did look like they were startled when you saw them.
21.
It's enough that when you get there, go ahead and make me an additional perception check with advantage again.
27.
They managed to back themselves into a bit of a corner, and while trying to hide behind another rock, they stand a form from the silhouette of the darkness about your height, maybe a little shorter.
Hi? Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I just thought you wanted to talk, so I came. Are you okay?
It nods slowly.
What's wrong?
Kind of
Can-
holds its hands up and gestures towards its face.
Your face? What's wrong with your face?
Doesn't seem to make any sort of audible reply.
Are you able to speak at all?
Glances down slightly and shakes its head.
Is there any way that we could communicate better?
Glances back to you and doesn't seem to be sure.
Well, can you act it out?
It nervously shrugs.
Wait, you are Whisper, right?
Glances away from you slightly, looks back towards you.
What does that mean? Whisper's back there?
Go ahead and give
You're
me a insight check.
Yeah. 18.
You get a feeling that whatever this is, it's more complicated than it could possibly explain without use of verbiage.
Okay. Are you part of Whisper? Are you part of me?
She gives a bit of a slow nod, kind of a tentative nod.
Have I met you before?
A sad look kind of crosses the eyes, and it shakes its head.
Wait, the feeling that I had when I came in here, it was like the one that I have when my soul has been taken out. Is my soul separated from my body right now?
It looks at you with concern for a moment and starts to approach you, the shape now becoming a bit more realized. You can see the telltale pricks of like two elven ears kind of sticking off the side of its face. Its hair worn kind of straight and lower than yours.
But all filled in as a shadow.
Yeah, the only facial feature you can truly make out that isn't sticking off the side of it are the eyes that appear to glow yellow. It nervously approaches you and examines you. Seems unsure how to answer your question. Almost like it's as puzzled as you are.
Are you a living being or a dead one?
It's not sure how to answer that since it is not a yes or no question.
Are you dead?
It gives a tentative nod.
So you're dead. You're not Whisper, but maybe? And I'm in a cave. I'm a little confused. Did you bring me here?
It seems confused by that question, looking at you as if you would hold this answer.
No. There was a door that showed up and you were staring at me. And my shadow went into it and you look like you have Whisper's eyes. So I followed it because I thought that it would lead me to Whisper, that Whisper needed to say something to me.
The shadow points at you and then just kind of kind of gesticulates this kind of like circle around you and then gesticulates towards itself.
Wait, so the portal appeared for you and you saw me?
It nods.
Then who sent the portal?
She cocks her head to the side.
Gee.
You can tell by this point that it's a fairly feminine shape.
Art.
And she looks at the ears and thinks for a little bit.
It kind of, the one that you look at kind of like flicks like twice, just twink, twink.
In a way that Whisper's ears would twick.
Slightly, yeah.
Hang on. Are you? You're a Whisper. But you're in this plane. So you're a spirit.
Nods.
Right? Do you know me? Aside from being Whisper.
She nods more.
Have you known me?
Kind of grabs her sides a bit and just sort of looks around nervously. A sudden chill rushes through the air, and her eyes light up, scared.
So that's bad to talk about.
You hear the clacking of more feet kind of wandering around. And you hear a mutterance in the distance. The muttering of a familiar voice.
Are you
What
my...
the hell is happening back there? You hear a voice call out, "Hello!" What the hell? How do things get in here without my goddamn know-how?
She like panics and looks back at the thing.
My mom is dead. Are you her?
By the time you look back, it has disappeared. What the hell is happening? And you see the telltale glow from around a corner. A being so luminous in this darkness that it's impossible for it to hide.
She immediately tries to actually no, hiding is useless.
There you... Nara? Standing
Hey.
before you, Solomon, has a very confused look on his face. What the hell is happening?
What the hell indeed? Did you bring me here?
No? I don't even know where the hell you've been. You've just been off the grid and now... What'd
What do
you
you
die?
mean I've been off the grid? No. I
Oh.
thought the portal opened up, and then I came through because I thought it was Whisper.
Portal. You walked into the void of your own accord?
Well, yeah, I was tied to it. It was literally part of me.
Okay, where the hell have you been?
Off doing the mission like I was supposed to.
Yeah, and not checking in for months. That's cool.
Well, things have been weird.
Clearly. He points down at your legs. You're not a
What?
ghost.
Okay. So what?
So how...
So how what?
You did this with your own power.
I what?
Well, either that, or you somehow died and stayed corporeal.
I what?
Hello? He kind of waves around him. My realm? The living don't just walk in here.
I can do that? That doesn't make sense.
Just kind of shrugs his arms like, fucking apparently.
But I don't know how to do that. I didn't even open the thing. I thought Whisper opened it. I don't know how this shit works.
So you just followed, what, something in here and...
I thought my cat wanted to talk to me. No one would miss an opportunity like that, ever.
It did it?
Why'd you say it like that?
Nothing.
No, that is not a nothing.
It's a nothing if I say it's a nothing.
You're prickly. You gonna explain this or no?
He kind of squints at you like you're. No, I don't think I am. Seems like you've got well enough in your hand on your own, Nara. So, you found your way in here. I guess you can find your way out.
What?
Hey, it's none of my business. You seem to have everything in control.
I mean, not really. I'm not flying by the seat of my... I was wearing pants.
Well, with the attitude you're giving, I think you've got this in control. Now, if you excuse me, I got shit to take care of. Oh, thanks for the big fucking lizard thing. It's kind of neat.
Oh, I thought you would like that.
I do. I really do. Anyway,
But
he
before you go-
starts to turn his back to walk away. Turns
I'm
his head over his shoulder.
I'm kind of sad I didn't get to meet you a long time ago.
What?
I heard a story that something really bad happened to you.
Well, bad shit happens to everyone, doesn't it?
It does, but I feel like like it was really bad and you didn't ask for it.
Where are you right now?
Here.
No, I meant, where were you before here?
I was training at a school. Well, I wasn't, but I was there. Didn't talk to, but I like caught a bird and it hung out and that was nice.
Well, when you get out of here, if you get out of here, tell him I said hi.
I will. Are you okay?
Is anyone?
Well, no, but
And there you go. And with a plume of black, viscous smoke, he's disappeared.
okay. Drama queen.
You feel a touch on your shoulder.
She'll look over at it.
You see the slender fingers that lead towards the shadow, the female elven shadow that you've been conversing with before Solomon showed up.
She'll take the hand and hold it in both of her hands.
As cold as the air around you, as cold as everything is, this hand somehow feels even colder than the numbing cold of the spirit realm.
You said you're a part of me. And that it was too complicated to explain about Whisper. Right?
She nods.
But the only drow I can think of that would be this close to me and be dead. Are you my mom?
The eyes stare at you knowingly.
Does that mean you've been here the whole time?
Without breaking eye contact, it nods.
Is that why I've always had Whisper?
She holds out her hand and brushes your cheek. The tear that started at the corner of your eye kind of freezes.
Did I make you?
She shakes her head.
Did he?
She gestures over her shoulder.
She hesitates for a moment, kind of pondering, really wondering the whole situation that came to this. She doesn't know how to answer that specifically with a yes or no, but she kind of gives a hesitant nod.
It was more complicated than that, though, right?
She nods.
He didn't just do it to be cruel.
Her eyes kind of wander. She's not sure.
Of course, that's too hard to answer. Oh. Hi.
The eyes lighten up in a smile. A very somber smile.
Can I hug you?
The eyes go to like a moment of shock hearing those words, and without a moment's hesitation, she pulls you in for a very tight, very cold hug. But it's as emotionally warm a hug as a specter can give.
Nara smiles really big.
Reminds me of Asmo.
You feel the spectral shadow, this coldness of this hug begin to kind of permeate your body. Your body starts to feel warm, oddly enough, as this shadow begins to sink further and further, combine more and more with your flesh. And you start to hear the muffled sounds, these strange voices conversing back and forth as you sink further into the embrace. Asmo, after finishing up battling a number of training dummies, this time each of them focusing on different aspects of attacking, either through magic or basically making you plan out each and every single one of your battles tactically, and having leveled up through this prospect, another door appears before you in the cellar. This one seems like quite a nice door. Looks to be of like red wood, very intricately carved. The handle itself seems to be made out of some form of crystal.
For context, let's just say you see a shot of the door. You see a rock hit it.
Tink.
Asmo pops his head around. Asmo action rolls over a rock. Like, Asmo's like in combat mode right now, so he doesn't know what this new illusion is. All right, might actually be a door. Asmo knocks on it.
The door opens, and that same kindly faced elf is on the other side of it. Yes.
I'm done. Can I come in?
If the door has appeared, then of course you can. As he opens the door, you find yourself in this lovely garden-esque tea room, and both Denier and Wolfgang are sitting in very plush-looking chairs, Each of them has a cup of tea sitting by their side and a tower of finger sandwiches sitting between them.
Well, I see everyone's been training really hard.
Like you wouldn't believe.
Wolfgang, Denier, Asmo is... he's got a series of bruises and cuts on him. And he's worked up quite the sweat.
Asmo sits down, but as he's sitting down, he's like awkwardly putting down all his weapons, like ting, 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 ting.
Just kind of falling off you as you walk into the room.
Well, you had PE, we had Philosophy 101.
Man's evil. Yeah, do I get an A? Asmo holds up his hand.
A gloved hand, as you're holding up your hand, floats over to you, holding a saucer and a cup of tea and a teacup, and it hands it to your upstretched hand.
You're not gonna not like I really needed this. It was tough.
A cushiony chair slides up behind you.
You hear the bones snapping.
A series of crackles and pops as Asmo adjusts himself into the comfy lounging chair.
We were just getting settled. Have a nice conversation about what we've discovered. About what we've all learned. Although I think we are missing one. How odd, her class should have ended some time ago.
Knowing her, she's probably gotten into mischief.
He summons Fithrobar, just kind of holds out his hands in this motion. You see these spinning, flaming runes start to appear.
Fithrobar, come here, please.
And Fithrobar bursts into the room with a surge of fire. He's cradling an unconscious Nara in his arms.
I don't know what to do. I think she's dead.
Oh, no. Asmo gets up immediately, spills his tea, grabs Nara immediately. Okay, what's going on? What happened?
A portal appeared for her. She walked towards it, and then she...
Do you not know what the portal was?
And I had never seen it before. It seemed to have...
What I thought you control everything in this space. Don't you control, reality here?
It seemed to have emanated from her. I thought it was a key to her power, and now she's...
Denier, get over here. You know magic. I don't know this. Astro literally goes over to the table where they all are, and Astro knocks off everyone's shit.
Denier wanders over, and the first thing he's going to do is I would like to roll a medicine check to check for a pulse.
Go for it.
18.
No pulse.
Yeah, no, she's I don't feel a pulse.
Is she breathing?
How long?
Asmo puts his ear to her mouth to feel any breath.
Medicine check.
Oh. 17.
There does not appear to be breathing.
How long has she been like this?
Only a few minutes.
Damn it. She hasn't got air in her mouth lungs. Shit.
It's past a minute. I can't do anything.
Shit. Asmo places her on the ground and goes, okay, I'm gonna try. She's not breathing. Is her heart pounding?
Denier shakes his head no.
Nara, wake up! All right, Asmo slaps her across the face.
Nara, that wakes you up.
Oh! Asmo falls over, holding his chest. Oh my god! Oh, I didn't think that was gonna work. Oh my god, I didn't think that was gonna work.
Why did you hit me? And
Oh my god, why were you dead?
how the fuck did I get back here? I had a body. Wait, what?
She immediately looks at Fithrobar.
What happened?
You walked towards the portal, you looked at me with concern, and then you fell over.
Right. I crossed into the plane of undeath.
That makes a lot of sense.
Um,
You were dead, Nara. Like, dead,
What?
dead. Like, no pulse, no breathing. Dead, dead.
Fascinating.
Isn't
Says the
that normally what happens?
says the elder elf that you now realize is also in the room, Nara.
Oh, hi. Okay.
Hello.
So,
Wait, the elder elf dude is here,
Mm-hmm.
and he is who again?
You, go ahead and give me a history check.
Okay. 11.
You have no fucking clue.
who the fuck's this guy?
So,
Chuckles to himself.
you know how, you have your master, Nara?
Yeah.
He's kind of my master.
Oh.
He's Solomon's brother.
Wait, what?
wait, what?
Arcanos, the god of magic, everybody.
That's what they call me.
Wait, you're Arcanos?
What?
Again, that's what they call me.
Oh. Well, wow, this timing is amazing. Actually, I just talked to Solomon.
Did you?
I did. Surprisingly, he wasn't very upset with me. Even though I haven't checked it in a really long time. He did say hi, though, to you.
It has been some time.
You guys should probably talk. Just say.
Probably should. When time allows, I'm sure.
You folks
You
need
okay?
a lot of therapy.
Ugh. You have no idea. You guys know Whisper, right?
Your
My
cat. Your weird shadow cat.
Excuse me, never call Whisper weird again.
Your shadow
You shrug.
bristles, and you feel this power kind of emanating from within your gut.
Just rolls his eyes and shrugs.
She like gets in his face, puts her hands on the table, stares him dead in the eye with murderous intent.
Never again, Wolfgang.
All right, all right. He just sort of raises his hands.
As she looks you in the eye, you see this, kind of like you have with your light that emanates from your eyes. You can see this umbral shadow kind of billowing from the corners of her eyes. Nara, you feel this strong surge of energy within you, to the point that you have hit level 12. You have leveled up.
Oh.
So,
She like steps back and kind of like puts her hand over her face, taking in the fact that she feels very different now.
Whisper's my mom?
Wolfgang doesn't say it, but he thinks it.
Well, we're
I'm
just
gonna close
learning.
his mouth.
You look.
We're
down,
just
you look-
learning all sorts of things today, aren't we?
You look down at her shadow, Asmo, and you see the top of a cat head just peering out at you. Kind of glares for a
Okay.
little. It kind of glares for a little bit, sinks back into the shadows.
Did you hear pat Nara gently on the back and he leans in? Cat moms are the best.
I wouldn't know until today. But thus far, it seems to be going great. I don't know what happened.
A gloved hand floats down to you, Nara, holding a saucer and a teacup.
This is you guys, right?
And she glares at Fithrabar.
He nods.
Essentially, yes, it is the Master's decree.
She squints and takes the tea and sips it very cautiously.
It's just an unseen servant, kind of similar to what Tom has at the bar.
It's basically a gloved mage hand.
She will never trust anything at this school ever again.
Mm-hmm.
The tea is a very delicate, sort of white tea flavor. There's a slight twist of lemon to it, just very subtle citrus flavors, but it's a very nice floral, elegant tea that brings a lot of warmth back into your body.
She sips it, her eyebrows raise in slight surprise, and then immediately goes back to a squint.
Well, come now. We can clear all this up, but we have much to discuss, I am sure. Please,
Oh boy, do we.
have a seat.
And here is where we will take a quick break. Hey guys, Lani here. I just wanted to thank you for rolling with us. And if you wanted to catch us live, you can do so almost every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time over on twitch.tv/Lanipator. Now, back to the show. So as you sit around this kind of palatial, sort of crystalline garden, steaming cups of tea sitting in front of you, Fithrabar has once again turned into a plume of fire and disappeared. You are now sitting at a round table with old Arcanos here.
So how have you found your stay here? Just out of curiosity.
People aren't as rude.
Pleased to hear that. I know the populace of the city can be...
Hateful, mean, cruel.
and then some.
Yes.
Things
This
here
is-
have advanced far beyond back in the other world.
This has all been very strange for me. All of this new, fancy, newfangled magic and technology combined is just... He sort of just puts a hand on his head and goes...
Well, it was mostly just magic up until a couple centuries ago, I guess.
Oh,
Nice young gnome came in here and started tinkering and showing us all the little things that could be applied, what magic enchantments could be put on certain gears, and, well, things just took off. I had very little to do with that. I simply provide a place for people to experiment and learn.
Nara's like bouncing, totally not listening to anything because she remembered something.
He has taken notice of you. He looks over. Yes.
Solomon said I had been missing for months,
Mm-hmm.
but I've only been with these guys for like a month.
Oh. Whew. That is a relief. I was afraid that we'd been in there for years, real time.
Why is
So
that
it's only
bad?
been a couple... Well,
Not all
that
of us.
means that...
Not all of us are you.
That would
It means that years haven't gone by.
So,
Well,
the
if
mist
we need
still
updates-
so the mist still permeate the greens, does it?
Okay.
It does. We did manage to take care of a rather sizable threat that was trying to eat the forces of the city on their excursions to study the mists.
The creature in that egg, correct?
Nara
That's the
like
one.
slumps over it and pats it.
Little ass.
Little ass is absolutely radiating with chronic energy.
There are pools of what I could only consider liquid time at the base of the mountain. It became a glutton for it. We turned that against it by trapping it underneath a wall of force until it reverted back into an egg.
How marvelous.
Uh,
If you face a being that outarms you, outthink it. Very cunning of you.
And soon we'll be friended.
Time will tell.
He says, glancing at the egg.
Probably missed my son's birthday.
Oh no, he'll never have another one.
This is more for me.
Also very possible.
Don't fucking say that.
I wish I didn't have to.
Things have gotten serious. I learned some pretty troubling facts. I managed to get Red talking. We're going to have to talk to Solomon after we leave here. At least give him a warning.
Oh, great.
You know, he wasn't that bad. I was kind of surprised, honestly.
Slow turn.
I mean, he was confused that I must have ripped my own soul out somehow and showed up there on my own without him doing it. And he wasn't mad that I was able to do that. He actually seemed kind of impressed or something like that. He didn't try to reprimand me, and I probably snipped a little more than I should have, but he actually seemed troubled in a way.
And something out there is moving as well.
I think so.
Arcanos kind of
I've got a
glances
few.
up to the corner of the room for a moment and glances back down.
Nara noticed that.
I would say, yeah, you probably noticed that if you were looking at him.
She immediately looks at wherever his eye line went.
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
16.
You see that there's a at the top of kind of a stairway over on that wall. There is a doorway and a window. There is a shape kind of moving away from the window as you glance up, but you don't get a good look at it.
Turns back to Arcanos.
What was that about?
What was what about?
Whoever that was, up there?
No, just passing along a message.
I hate this cryptic bullshit, but fine.
That's one thing we got in common.
It was likely somebody delivering a message and then leaving after the message was delivered.
Gwyn's.
Arcanos
think I'm-
turns back towards you, Daenerys.
You've had continued discussions with that being.
On multiple occasions, yes. The first time we encountered it, it was trapped inside of an amulet around a centaur's neck when we were in the Great Sand Sea about to compete in the war games. For some reason, the being thought himself attached to me. He quoted me his favorite. I assumed it was because of my connection to the shattered fragments of the skull of the great beast. Over a number... Go ahead.
Yes. He just kind of nods.
Over a number of weeks, it attempted to tempt me to convince me to draw on its power. That I needed to take its power, otherwise terrible things would happen. Although for some reason, he doesn't like... And he points over towards Wolfgang.
Just sort of raises a hand like, yep, that's me.
Even in the first encounters, he seemed to despise Wolfgang.
No doubt you represent a danger to its plans.
That and probably something else.
Over the course of a number of, I'd say, weeks, it continued to attempt to assuage me to its desires, but every time I fought it off, although when I was undergoing mental interrogation by the Silver Dragon, Tia, I don't know if it was her attempting to get me to fall to its will, or if it was him himself that was manipulating me. But the Lady Tia herself used one of the Bleeding God's creations against me. The creation was subsequently destroyed, but I lost contact with the being Red shortly after. He claimed that I was no longer any fun and that he would be leaving me forever. And I assumed at this time he went back to Fezziwig after giving the boys some peace for a while. But what he did say did cause me alarm. He spoke of a world where death no longer existed. A place where he could simply take those that fell, reshape them as he sees fit, and then just send them back out into the world. This leads me to believe that either Solomon or the Lady Death is the ultimate next target, which is why I believe that we need to warn Solomon or the Lady Death.
From what we've
Wonder-
been able to decipher, this entity, the one you've called the Bleeding God or the Great Beast, is a being of destruction and chaos. It's been hard to pin down its motivations.
I think its motivations are simple.
Corruption, destruction.
It wants to destroy. I don't think there's an end to that. Until everything is gone.
And yet, from what we've been able to gather, this beast is, well, this entity that has found its way here. Cunning though it may be is only one part of a greater whole. How many parts? We are still uncertain.
Most of the pieces have come together in one whole now. They were reassembled by one of the arcane innate that calls himself Ramses Palto, who is currently waging war in the north.
One of the children
Over-
of Arcanos.
Daenerys nods a couple times. He deemed the actions of the North and the treatment of the arcane innate vile and repugnant, and he seeks to create a revolution to change the way that the arcane innate are treated, but he's going about it the wrong way in my eyes.
His hand shakes slightly as he reaches out for the cup of tea in front of him. You can see, if you, one sec, trying to find there we go. You can see the scarring of a old mark on the back of his right hand. Seems to be an X, an I, and a V.
Yes.
But not all see the arcane innate that way. I had an integral part in the construction of a school for the Arcanonate in Dragon's Rest. There are a number of rather talented sorcerers there.
It is good to know that another generation can still thrive, even if some do not. One thing has been made certain from this being's behavior. It seems quite content to wait. With what we have at present, we have not found a means to destroy the entity. Nor have we found a way to remove it from whatever pact binds it to Mr. Grinspire.
He glances up towards that corner again. And then back down.
I believe the only way to remove the pact would be to have somebody else create a pact in his stead. Pull Red from Fezziwig onto them. But that's a poor fate in and of itself.
The pact itself seems quite heavily bound. Tied by more blood than I care to imagine, honestly. Its patience concerns us.
Fezziwig said something to the effect of it's too late to stop its plans because they're already happening.
And that was where we were hoping to maybe see if there was pieces of information that you had that we did not.
He also said something else. He wanted my blood.
A lot of your enemies do. Gazmo sits back saying,
Wolfgang blinks for a moment. Someone here already has my blood.
What?
you?
He remembers in the orb where they basically extracted his blood and wrote him down in the database.
Oh.
To gain entry to Lona Throne.
Yes, a sample of your blood was taken.
Where do you keep that?
His eyes actually wander for a moment. His expression shifts from that of, somebody who's old and wise to somebody who feels like they just got the rug pulled out from under them.
You don't save that, do you?
He starts, he makes a quick hand gesture, and you, Denier, you know this maneuver quite well. He's casting Sending.
Ah. It's in a safe place.
Says who?
Says Arcanos.
Uh-huh.
He just cast Sending. Speaking to whoever has the blood.
This fucking guy.
He smiles. It's this sort of like almost haha gotcha sort of smile, like he feels like he has like a one up on you right now almost. But it's a confident smile.
Can I insight that smile?
Sure, go for it.
Oh. Hey.
Ah. Oof.
Pretty much what I said.
Damn it.
Sort of rubs the side of his face. All right, if you're certain. I don't know what would have happened if I gave him my blood, but it wasn't Fezziwig asking for it. It was that red guy.
Well, there wouldn't have been a good method for you to give him your blood anyway. The sphere he's in is quite impenetrable as it stands. Not without a hefty dose of magic to knock through it anyway.
Seems like a pretty resilient sphere.
Yeah, at a magic school for sure.
I would say of those present, one of you has the capability of knocking through it.
Denier.
Probably Daenerys.
He nods.
It's
Huh. Okay. Alright.
I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I do wonder what your blood would taste like.
Probably like the sun, seeing how often you call him sunblood.
I don't think it'd be healthy for you to find out.
Arcanos' ears kind of like twitch a little.
A hint of cinnamon.
Really? Wait.
Slowly looks over.
From what I understand.
You. Fucking Archie.
What do you mean from what you understand? Why do you know that?
Well, I imagine.
Oh, no.
Just-
He needs to answer this one.
She's got the finger up.
Well, if I could, pitch theories here. My family's been around for a long time. I'm not the only one with these kind of powers. Hell, I'm probably not even the most powerful one. And, fights with things such as vampires or things that are known to drink blood. There's probably accounts of what my family's blood tastes like.
You are the
Just a
first
theory.
of you are the first of your line that we have personally met.
So that's a shaky idea then, huh?
It was just an idea.
Here at the Academy, if we come across something powerful or strong, there is experimentation to be done, of course.
You all tasting blood for funs? That's a me thing, not a you all thing.
Nah. Let it happen organically.
Wolfie just starts chuckling.
Nothing here is specifically for fun, only for information.
Can I go to the blood tasting room?
We don't have a room specifically for that, although I guess there's only one room where that happens, so...
There is a blood tasting room.
Jermot once told me the difference between experimentation and fucking around is writing things down.
He sounds quite wise.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
One of the wisest I know.
So we're not going to the blood tasting room. Okay.
He glances back up to that window again.
She's whip turns really fast to see who's there.
Go ahead and perception with advantage this time.
18.
As you glance up there, it's his face in the window. It nods.
No.
No what?
What? Why are you there but also here and talking to yourself?
There are many answers to that question.
Oh, I bet there are.
That's me in the corner.
And that's me in the spotlight.
Guys, anyone see my religion?
I can definitely see the influence that Tom and Pombus has had on you.
His ears twitch and he seems to take on a bit of a smile.
It's a name I haven't heard in some time.
Last we saw, he was on his way to see you, by chance.
Did we see him in the mists?
Just
No.
before we went to the mist.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Alright.
The last you saw Tom, or the last you. Yeah, the last you saw
He was
Tom,
right outside the
there
Feywild.
Yeah, he was in the overgrowth helping the pixies with their sigil stone.
So,
Real quick question, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
His ears are just like perking because he's hearing stuff, right? They're not twitching in any particular way that might be recognizable, right?
If you're asking if it's very similar to what Whisper did, then no.
Okay, great. Just wanted to check. Hairbrained idea there.
They seem to twitch when he's curious about something or when he is taken aback so far from what you've seen.
Cool.
He
I'm gonna lay that idea to rest.
sips again from his tea. Still
The last time,
still kind of
Glenn?
keeping that like confident smile on his face.
the last time it wreaked havoc on the world, it took a coalition of the gods to stop it. Vander, Solomon, Fleetfoot, many others to say the least. We've got a few that are ready when the time comes. We really want to count you among them.
Before we left many gifts to the people of this world. Well, that world. Some we believe to be weapons. Some powers that have grown into the bloodline of the natives. Artifacts.
Daenerys moves the staff forward and just almost presents it as he holds it forward from his seat.
Ah, yes. It is one of them. Where did you come by this?
Not too far from a town called Fallwood Borough. There was a underground town called Dark Launch. We found it in the catacombs underneath it, fleeing from goblins and hobgoblins. Although I've noticed it incomplete.
Yes.
It played a major part in helping save the overgrowth. There was a grand invasion from worlds beyond, creatures with the face of a squid.
Mm-hmm.
They
That's what Pat displayed.
ripped their way through, and they carried objects. The power of which they contain, I can scarcely describe. I carry one on my person that, if I were to classify its strength, it would be on the 8th tier of magic. But they forced their way through the thin veil of reality, and they set to take apart the entire world. But we managed to push it back through a use of a number of, well, your artifacts. Gifts from another version of you, gifts of yours that I found. Although it's taken damage, he shows the very tip of it where it began to splinter.
Yes.
It served me well up to this point.
It does seem quite worn.
I've had it a long time.
And it made quite a journey finding its way here. This was originally part of a set of 3. This was a channeling device. Of course, the crystal to be placed at its head was later used to imprison any... Well, best not to dwell on the past on that one. I believe that one was found by a young elf boy. Seemed worthy, so he was granted the ring.
The ring that controlled the sphere.
Yes.
And he waves his hands, and in his hands a minor illusion of the sphere of annihilation.
Yes, that's the very piece. You were there as well.
His name is Hackless Wizzlestein, of the
Yes.
Wizzlestein line. They still have the book that you gave them. We made sure that a great number of months ago, someone tried to steal the grandest spell of them all. But we managed to stop it.
I'm
But-
glad it is in safe hands.
He gives a slow nod. When I spoke to another of your pieces, that the boy entered a pact with you.
Yes.
And so when I entered a pact with you, strangely enough, I gained the ability to call him whenever I want, wherever I want.
What a strange circumstance.
The world is small sometimes.
Quite.
We've come here for a number of reasons. But, of course, the most important is to seek your guidance whenever it comes to the Bleeding God. Another reason is that in Silver Rock, there's a man that called himself Barristan Kinch, following the lines of Eadric Kinch.
That is a line I am familiar with, unfortunately.
They've been sacrificing the children of Arcanos for generations. We recently found out why. Eadric Kinch has been consuming and trying to use their bodies and their essences to fuel his research. Eadric Kinch has been destroyed. But Barristan Kinch, his descendant, found a way to use a soul crystal to channel the souls of the arcane innate, the children of Arcanos, into a weapon. We've managed to deactivate the control of the weapon, but the soul crystal itself is still there. Soul still trapped within. It's far beyond our capabilities to be able to release those souls without danger of destroying it. Another reason why we come to seek guidance. Wolfgang came looking for assistance with the Jester of Bordeaux, which you already know. But what do you know of the Vorpal sword?
Me personally?
I know much
Well, I was
of the...
referring to him.
No, I know, but
Many of the prophecies that exist out there were one of our own.
Asma pulls out the sheath and places the blade on the table.
Which blade?
The one I got from the stun blade. Oh my god.
That is
The Void
a
Blade.
That's the
completely
Void
different
Blade, not the
weapon.
Vorpal Blade.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I'm getting
Yeah,
them confused.
the,
Might be.
Yeah, he's the sword Denir's referring to is the one wielded by
Sorry.
the one wielded by Kageroshi, the one that he used to take off Horatio's wing with.
Okay. Sorry, I just misheard at the beginning of that.
No worries.
You're right.
There's been a lot of mystical swords.
There have been, forgive me.
We've heard tell, at least from what I understand. I wasn't at that meeting. I was delving into the mind of a dragon at the time. But I'm told that there's a blade capable of slaying a god. But it can only be created by the combination of two weapons.
Combination of two weapons which must be anointed and adjoined by the Lady of Death herself. Which would require beings to wander into her realm.
And those same beings be allowed to leave. We were
Quite
curious
so.
what you know, because we have in our possession one of those pieces.
I could sense it. It's hard not to notice something emanating that cold, unfeeling energies. After what we witnessed earlier, we know at least one of you can wander into the realm of death itself. Or at least the realm in between.
Something like that, yeah.
And then there's you.
He glances over towards you, Asmo.
Yeah, what about me? Asmo flexes seductively. Ooh.
Well,
He points at your chest, and the symbol of Solomon kind of like glows through your clothes for a moment.
there's that, first of all.
Yes. Yes, it is a pain in the ass. But one day at a time, right?
He seems to have taken some interest in you.
And that's because I killed his pet in front of him, and he decided to replace me. Replace the pet with me. More or less.
I feel like there's more to it.
I hope not. Because he's the kind of guy, when there's more to it, is really not a good thing.
Oh, it most certainly will not be for you, I'm certain.
Well, hopefully not for me. Again, we're gonna get to the bottom of that. 100 bodies, huh?
D5. You like the lizard, by the way.
At least there's that.
There's something about your wavelength, your energy. It's odd.
I'm not magical.
Not
Aside from this-
outwardly.
Asmo just makes a face like, well, I don't know how this thing works. Taps on the thing on his chest. But it's about the only magical thing in my body now, aside from the thing strapped to me. Wolfgang, Denier, Nara, they all know their way around magics. Me, I've never been a fan of it. Hard to understand. Half the time I don't even know what they're talking about. I just sit there and nod and don't make it worse. That's what I'm trying to do.
It's hard to describe. It seems like your soul is tied to something. That's all. Bound to another.
As the eyes just kind of open up a little bit, like,
Hmm.
an interesting thought.
To who?
Nazra just kind of gives, like, eyes, just looks at Nara, like, shrugs.
It's hard for me to say. There appear to be a lot of feelings there.
What kind of feelings?
Painful
The
ones.
ones he's bound to?
Probably painful ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do see pain, anger, betrayal. It's a complex
Yes.
weave.
It'll be settled soon.
Perhaps it will.
He gets a quizzical look on his face.
Really, you sure?
Looks back up
I-
towards the window.
Why? What's going? What? Why? What's wrong with the window?
He stands up and just kind of brushes himself off as he finishes his tea.
Very well. I'll take you to see the master.
Huh?
I thought. Wait. Well, hold on. What? I thought this was the master. Yeah, this was.
I had a feeling.
God damn it!
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Oh gosh, there's another mountain we have to climb behind those
no,
doors.
no.
Oh, thank God.
No, the master's quite nearby. The master is quite nearby.
Better mean that relatively.
He is almost certainly working on his evocation, unless chronomancy training goes well this evening, in which case he'll probably be doing that.
Almost certainly, maybe, definitely going to be there, hopefully. Got it.
Wait, aren't you the master?
Yeah, no, Nar, they were messing with us. They were messing with us.
No.
I had a
Oh.
feeling something was off.
I have no intention of messing with you. I am Arcanos, a part of Arcanos.
Arcanos has a habit and a tendency to be able to split himself into multiple forms. When I left a long time ago, I went up north and I actually met with one of his pieces. He holds up his hand showing the ring.
Number 5.
And I was given this, and I was given a potion which sealed my pact with him.
We are but simulacrums of...
I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means.
Think
That's
of
him
us
shaking
as
his head.
discarded husks. That sounds rude to me.
Yeah, man.
I would say a magically manifested duplicate that has the memories and abilities of the primary form at the time of splitting.
Not even. It's quite complicated. We are imperfect clones. We carry all that is within, but we are never 100% the same.
Uh-huh.
Either way, we should tarry on. He'll be very curious to meet you, I'm certain.
The year's already up.
He gestures forward, and out of the floor pops another door.
This way, please.
He walks and he opens the door.
Daenerys already through the door.
As you walk through the door, you from the door that you open up, you hear the sound of like clattering, the sounds of hundreds of pages ruffling, and the delighted sounds of a young voice. Yes, maybe. No! And you see smoke kind of billow out from the corner of the room. As you walk in, kind of like dusting himself off with soot, he kind of flings his hand. Daenerys, once again, you see a familiar face. It's the face of a younger elf.
It's the kid from the library, wasn't it?
It, in fact, is platinum blonde hair, wearing a relatively soiled shirt and very dirty purple robe. He waves his hands in the air, and all the soot on him just sort of dissipates. He looks over, kind of glances across you guys. His face lingers on you for a moment, or his stare lingers on you for a moment, Daenerys, and then he looks over to the one that up until now you had been referring to as Arcanos. 14 was going on. I'm trying to finish these notes here. You walk in, it throws off my jive, and I have chronomancy practice starting here in 5 minutes.
You had us reschedule it till this evening, sir.
Did I? He pulls a quill out of his pocket, throws it into the air. Write this down. Fascinating. He glances back over at the four of you. I've met one of you. Ah, you're the Sunblood.
He just sort of opens his mouth, closes it, tilts his head. That I am.
Did not expect cinnamon.
Nara smiles really big and has a shit-eating grin at Wolfgang.
He kind of glancing over, he sees you smiling, Nara, and he smiles. Aw. Hello. You're a long way from
Hi.
home.
Yeah. Sorta. Just took a quick visit over. Not that long ago.
Did your master send you?
What? No. Solomon was busy doing stuff. He left before I could really talk to him.
Is he still being a wet sack of flour?
No? Wait. What's your name again?
Daener nods.
Oh, right.
Wolfgang nods.
Sorry, I'm used to. I'm Arcanos.
Oh! So you're... Okay. Solomon said, tell him hi.
He kind of grins at that a little. But like how? Like did he say it in like a go screw yourself sort of way, or I'm
No.
not done with you sort of way?
He said, tell him hi.
Kind of gives this like half like this half like, okay, let's see what the hell he's going at here, sort of smile towards you. Okay.
He was in a weird mood.
It's been a few millennia for me, I guess.
Only he'll reprimand me if I've upset him, but he didn't seem in the mood. Actually, he was nice.
He holds out his hand and a pile of papers kind of appear in it. He flicks a couple of fingers and like the papers start flying back. It's probably been 1,000 years out there, I'd guess. At this rate. Yeah, I guess that's been a while.
Yep, that's correct. That's how long it's been since you left.
I've only been around for about 1/10 of that, so...
The one thing you learn, at least when you start studying time, is that it's all fairly relative. I mean, I made a mistake a couple 100 years back and kind of gestures towards his somewhat teenage, like somewhat preteen physique. Still working that off.
You remind me a lot of him, actually.
In what way?
I don't know. Just similar.
Fascinating. He throws another
You
quill
are
towards the paper.
You are family, after all.
In a manner of speaking. I mean, he's the only one that was born of 2 of the gods out there, which is why I was so curious about him. I mean, also, I'm basically the second youngest. He's the youngest, and I felt like we had stuff in common. We got along when we were young, until we didn't, and then we really didn't.
Yeah. Aswell just starts nodding, going,
That one really vibes with you.
Oh, you know what they say about family. They're the friends you're given.
I guess they are.
And friends are the family you choose.
I like that one. Can I have that one?
That's yours.
Perfect. He smiles at that and takes another quill out and writes that down himself. Folds
makes
it up
a lot
and puts
of-
it in a pocket.
If it makes a lot of money, don't tell me. I'll just make it worse.
We don't have any use for money here.
Ugh, that's depressing.
He just he shrugs. I mean, I basically made this, so.
Asmo, they have drinks that taste like whatever your favorite thing is.
The yum berries. That was one of my favorites. Worked with some
I
druid.
think they've got us.
worked with some druids
They've
on
got
that
us-
one. It's strong.
I think they've got us beat, Asmo.
Yeah. Denier looks over at Asmo. It's from what I understand, they don't use currency. Like, remember when we were back at Willinda's Wanderlust and he pulls out his jacket?
Yeah.
I bartered for the clothes instead of trading money.
That makes sense.
So, to get down to it, you four are here because the world's about to end, yeah?
That's the gist of it, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
What was going on out there when you left? Is everything on fire still? Or
What?
Well,
I...
Dragon's Rest was on fire.
So the sun isn't dark, it's not shuddering out yet, it's still there?
What?
Slowly raises an eyebrow. Not
That's
that we
concerning,
know
but-
of.
Last we heard Ramses Palto was leading a rebellion in the north.
Ramses Palto, Ramses Palto, Ramses Palto, Ramses Palto, Ramses Palto...
With a number of fragments of the skull of the beast of the bleeding god.
What did we
He's
end up calling
a,
that thing? The Asmodeus, that was the thing.
What?
Asmodeus.
I think.
That's what just up. What? I'm sorry. What did you? Could you just repeat what you just said?
The Devil King.
Yeah. Aswell just kind of like bobbing his eyebrow, like, "What the fuck you on about?" Aswell giving him an incredulous look.
So I'm trying to place all this back together. It was very confusing. My mentor, he carried with him a very...
Asmodeus and the Jester.
Yes, that was one of those. I wrote that one.
My name is Asmo, and my brother's name is Deus. Asmo just gives the guy like the most serious stare he could ever give.
His eyes lighten up.
Asmo's eye twitches.
Fascinating. Where did you get
That's
the name?
just it was given to me and my. In the backstory, they chose it for themselves, right?
Yeah, you said you saw the name Asmodeus, and you guys decided to split the name because you thought you sounded cool.
Oh, especially because the art of it was actually split down the middle. It was meant to split the word in half.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like two
the
separate
art
names.
you found was actually from a old ruined poster of Asmodeus and the Jester, a traveling show.
Oh, is that what I used?
It's,
is that-
due to the backstory you gave me, that's what you used.
Oh. It's off, me and my brother, we ran to town and we realized we never really given names. We were just kind of given numbers, really. And, go to a new town, rename yourself so your family can't find you, right? So. Asmo and Deus. I run the
Rename
rock, paper-
yourself so that your family can't find you.
At least
I'm
that's
gonna
what
write
we
that
do.
one down too. He writes it down.
I better get paid for these, my god. But no, like, that's how we name.
What do you want? He kind of snaps his fingers, and 5 platinum plates fall down from the sky, like about the size of your palm. Pink, pink, pink.
Oh.
Can you send that anywhere in the world?
Technically. I don't know how long. I don't know how long they'll last. I literally created them out of nothing, but.
Oh, okay. If it doesn't last, then never mind.
It's good if you want something real quick, though.
No, it's only good for a hustle, really. But
Hustle
so
is
yes,
as hustle does.
so me and my brothers are Asmodeus. Yes, technically, and we also call ourselves the Gruesome Twosome.
I wrote it as a warning. Like I said, my mentor, he carries with him a powerful artifact. It's It's a rift in space and time. When I was young, I snuck into the room he kept it in, and I peered into it. I got pulled into it. And I saw the future.
And you're slowly leaning forward.
I saw everything. I saw, well, what my mind could process, but it burned into my eyes. I saw the lands, the grass dying, the sun in the sky flickering out with this black hole at its center. I saw beasts, creatures, these monsters flying in the sky. I could hear the screams and then I got pulled out. He told me what I saw was my future.
Shit.
So I spent all of my time from then on just making what I could to help stave that off. He gestures very frantically at the staff. Like that! I made that. It was supposed to be part of 3 things, but it's... We needed to use the other one because one of my students turned on another one. It's a long story.
What?
The second piece can be obtained if we need it.
That's right. She's fucking dead. Oh my god.
I can summon him right now if you want me to.
Summon who?
The wielder of the second piece.
His eyes just kind of blink for a moment. Points at you. I had him sign a contract so that we could do that at...
Jazz hands.
You are a fascinating creature. Denier, right?
Correct. I was the one that made the pact with, I believe you call him number 5.
Yeah.
Gave me this. He shows the ring. And the potion. He shows the empty bottle.
How have you found its effects? Did it settle right? Because those are normally supposed to be distributed through the groundwater into the parents and distributed through the seed at birth, and then they grow with the power. I mean, obviously you're here. It didn't make you explode. Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say I didn't explode. I've been able to do some interesting things with it. I've been able to do... I've been calling it the gift of Arcanos, but
It's apt.
sometimes I'm able to cast spells that I don't have memorized at the time. It's tricky. I'm still figuring it out, but I'm able to do it. And I've also noticed that I'm able to pull little tricks, like use the weave to modify my magic in a way that I haven't seen a wizard do. He glances towards Nara for a second.
Hmm?
The closest that I've been able to figure... Well... It's almost like I'm able to change and adjust the magic on the fly. And I've seen Nara do the same thing.
When did I do that?
It's clearly in your
There-
blood or your soul. Either way, you should be able to feel magic somewhat the way I do. I can see it, feel it and bend it to my will. Of course, it's still imperfect. I'm still learning the extent to which it can go.
Yeah,
How do you do the last part?
What was that?
How do you do the last part? I can see it and feel it. But like going through the portal door today, I guess I did that, but I don't know how, and I don't know how I'd do it again.
That could have something to do with your environment. The school does tend to amplify certain aspects of the students. Perhaps your will was so strong in empowering yourself, it helped you find a way.
Ah,
But if
Like,
you're asking about how you would empower yourself, I mean, for the sake of your character sheet, you should have some things on there that you can use, like little spell modifiers that you have that you can spend sorcery points on. I know you haven't really used them, but
mm-hmm.
Meta magic.
Meta magic. Mechanically speaking, that is exactly what he's describing.
Okay, gotcha.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that you've used meta magic at least once or twice. That's what I was referring to.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
I've seen. It's difficult to describe. Like, I've seen times when I can cast magic. It's almost always on it's almost always on the plane of dreams. I cast magic and it always is so much stronger than I intended it to be. Like, I'm only able to tap into the 6th tier of magic, but it feels like the spells that I'm throwing are, 5th or 7th, 8th tier of magic and strength. It's rather unique that I'm still trying to come to terms with.
So you explore the plane of dreams.
Denier gives a nod. I've been messing with it for quite a while now.
He starts to walk closer to you. Kind of holds up one finger. Show me. And he taps you on the forehead, and you collapse down to the ground.
Okay, was that magic related?
All right, stand back. No, this has happened to me.
As Denier falls to the ground, you see Arcanos' eyes kind of roll into the back of his head.
I'll just lay down and prop him up in this chair.
If Denier has any control over it, I'd say
As soon as you fall asleep, it does feel very natural to you. What is your surroundings?
It is the Mind Palace. It is the half-constructed palace that he has been working on.
Which room?
For this one, I'd say it's the Room of Triumph and Despair.
What is that room?
So, the Room of Triumph and Despair is a rather sizable room that seems to be split into two sides. One side is built of white marble and magnificent pillars. Along one side of a wall is various, almost like gateways that each holds a different picture in it. So it's a 30 by 30. It's a 30 by 20 room. Four corners of the room are supported by tall white pillars with gold inlay. Numerous runes which are trenched out just below the wording. The raised ceiling gives it an almost cathedral feel. In the center of the room would sit a rather large, comfortable, high-backed chair with red cloth on chocolate wood. Similar flooring under boot. Surrounding the walls are various pointed archways, almost like a gateway, to other points and times that are significantly triumphant. Things like the award ceremony in Dragon's Rest, winning the war games with Dogen, standing with Ego and Id, battling the demon troll. And the blazing mansion of Silver Rock on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side of the room, it's this. It's made of this dark, grungy, grimy stone brick. And on the other side of the room, there's this empty pillar where something looks like it would have been held, an empty divot. And so along that wall are various moments of great despair. This part of the room, it's okay. I'm a little bit frazzled. So there are ancient mossy stones with etchings and carvings that look long since worn away, with slight grooves all around. The gateways on this side are black, almost obsidian, and in the look of them are a number of moments of despair. Magnus Connolly laying on the ground with a hole in his chest, that sadistic smile on his face. Image of Denier pointing the staff at Bahum, the look of betrayal on his face, the empty village of Birchwood Creek, the cannon mid-fire at Silver Rock. But at the very center of the room, there's two images along the back doorway. And one image says, "Cherish them for as long as you can." The image on the left is a grand table with all the people that Denier has met along his journey, sitting around a table, laughing, happy, joyous, feasting. And the one on the right says, "Because I will take them from you one by one." And it's that same picture, but every single one of them have been killed in some way. Some of them laying face down in a pool of blood. And across in the back distance, an endless sea of blood as far as the eye can see.
As you kind of... oh, sorry.
The room seems to shift and vibrate, one part of the room growing larger than the other, before it's slowly fought back by the other side, almost like a torrentious battle of the mind between two halves that are seeming to be battling for control of the room.
As you kind of come to terms with the fact that you just instantly fell asleep and this was the room you popped into, you see Arcanos kind of glancing around. Right now he's looking at the picture of you pointing the staff at Bahum, like from your perspective. He grew a beard.
Yeah.
Suits
Denier
him.
staring at the picture is... his face is almost stoic. Like he's going through so many emotions at once, he doesn't know what to do or what to say. But he just walks over slowly to the seat that's sitting there. He waves his hand, and of course, another one shows up. One is the magnificent chair that's embroidered in, the reds, the poshness. But the other one that appeared is a stone chair that looks somewhat uncomfortable, that looks like it would match with the lost part of the building. And Denier slowly settles down into the chair of loss, folding his arms over his lap as he watches Arcanos for the moment. He decided that Arcanos would have the better seat, at least at the moment. I spend a lot of time in this room.
Clearly. Must not be good for your mental state.
It keeps me focused. It gives me perspective of things.
He's now glancing at the picture of the two tables. You put a lot on yourself.
The last time I met Asmodeus, that's what he said. He told me that he was going to take them all from me, one by one. until I was only left.
And how did that meeting end?
I told him that I was going.
In a flick of a moment, the entire room vanishes, and once again you're floating in front of that great tree.
I told him that I would stop him. He said that he was eternal, that I couldn't, and I told him I would become eternal if I had to. And then a few moments later, an image of Daenerys in that moment, that same speech would begin to play out. The roots would rip from the ground, trying to ensnare that version of Daenerys. But Daenerys was able to escape in that moment, because in that particular scene back then, Daenerys rolled a nat 20 on his wisdom save and escaped.
Not only that, but you obliterated those roots that tried to ensnare you.
Mm-hmm. He slips away, and in just a flash, those roots were ripped to shreds.
The tree shrivels down and shrinks down to a small flower sitting in the middle of this black field. The black field once again disappears, and the flower sits in the middle, like dead ass in the middle of the room of triumph and despair.
We're going to need as many as we can get to whenever it comes time. Be they old blood, or, if we have to, perhaps make a couple new gods along the way. The Eternal must face off against the Eternal in order to shield the world from despair. From exactly what you said, you and I walk a similar path with each other.
When you say new gods, what do you mean by that?
There are only so many. Dogud, Tom, Lush, the father of Bahum, Tia, Harash, Fleetfoot, you, Solomon, father and mother. But despite everything, I haven't seen one that controls dreams.
A smirk crosses his face.
I've seen the creation of a new god. I was a part of it. He reaches over and he points towards the window of Dogud standing triumphantly as the new god of war. He says he is eternal. I told him I'd become eternal if I needed to.
And do you think that's possible?
Who's to say? But I'm going to try.
You can see his eyes lighten up. This mischievous, curious smile crosses his face. And once again, he reaches to you. Show me. He snaps his fingers. And here's where we'll end today's session.